All right, hey, welcome back. I'm Corey. We're going to talk about the natural minor scale today and how to maybe come up with some solos and improvise with it. So we have to talk a little bit about what the natural minor scale is and how we can find chord tones in sort of a minor chord progression. Now, the natural minor scale, you can think about it a few different ways. It is a relative minor to a major scale. So for instance, if you know C major, which would sound something like this, that's C to C, right? We played all the way up, do, re, mi. But if we played all those same notes starting from A, it would sound something like this. It's the same pattern, but we started it and emphasized different starting and ending notes there. One sounded more major, one sounded darker or more minor. So when somebody says we're in the key of A minor and they're going, you can use the natural minor tonality to get you some fun lines and phrases. Okay? And what we're going to do, as I play this chord progression for you, I'm going to tell you about some notes to target that might be nice, and I'll create a little line to do that. Because our chords are going to be A minor or A minor 7, D minor 7, F major 7, to a G, and then back to an A minor 7. And what I'm doing is basically creating lines that will have notes from those chords in it. Not arpeggios necessarily, not a cage system of any type. I don't even really use that. I don't use that at all, let's be honest. I use scales and I know my notes in the scale. So for instance, I might play, and I'll play a D minor, play a line that's similar. Notes in the chord. So I'm going to play a line, and then we're going to talk about what I did over the track after the performance, and I'll break it down slowly for you like I always do and kind of walk you through some good ideas and give you some tips on what you might want to do and you might want to not do. All right, but let's play minor. Let's jump into it. Of course, the tab for the scale, the line, and the track will be available in the video description. And while you're here, I'd love it if you subscribe, but for now, let's jam. I'll see you at the end. Alright, so first of all, we talked about the chords in this progression being A minor or A minor 7 to a D minor 7 to an F major 7 of any variety to a G, just a G major, and then back to an A minor 7. Now let's take a look at the chords as we're going by. Actually, first, before we do that, let's make sure we know the scale pattern. We're starting on the 5th fret, 6th string, and you're going to play 3 notes, 5, 7, 8, and that's A, B, C, fingers 1, 3, 4. Same thing on the 5th string, fingers 1, 3, 4, that's D, E, and F. So you have A, B, C, D, E, F, 2 notes on the 4th string, G and A. So that takes us all the way up through 1 octave. Now, let's continue and go back a half step on the B, 3rd string, 4th fret. We're going to do three notes on this string. 1, 2, 4. That's going to be a B, C, and a D. Now we're going to go to the 2nd string, 3 notes. 1, 2, 4. That's E, F, G on frets 5, 6, 8. And then 1, 3, 4 on the 1st string. 5, 7, 8. Okay, one more time. So, let's create some lines here. Now, you could just kind of walk through it. And tinker around, which I recommend. Put the track on, kind of play around, get your feet wet. But what I decided to do here was create some lines that helped us navigate the chord changes. Now that's sort of next level thinking for an improviser, because if we're sort of blues rock folks, we tend to just kind of put the scale over the chords and it works all the time, right? Power chords or blues, we can stick with one sort of chord scale sound and it works, like pentatonics over blues. But with this, we can be a little more specific. So we have an A minor 7, and a really, the notes in that chord are A, C, E, and a G if we're playing an A minor 7. But what I do is I walk up the scale in that first part, and I just go A, B, C, D, E, because it works perfectly over that chord. I let it breathe, next chord comes around, D minor 7. Its notes are D, F, A, and C. It would be something like this. Those are the notes in the chord, and they live here. There's a D, there's an A, there's a C, there's an F, and an A, and all those notes live in that nice natural minor scale. And this note that we're going to target here, that's an F, and that is what we would call the minor 3rd of that chord. It just sounds nice, and notice that the line, the first one, ended on that E. The second line, nice little half step motion. Now the next chord is an F, and I walked it down because the notes in an F chord are F, A, and C. And I landed on a C in that instance. Next chord is G. That B note that is in the scale lives in a G chord. Then maybe you can finish it off with, continue to walk down the scale. I landed on an A because it's the root note and it sounds good. So, of course, I just walked back into the A there. Because I know some of the good choice notes, right? So that's a good way to sort of target chords that are going by in this instance. And I didn't use caged or I didn't use arpeggios, for instance. I just knew notes in that scale because I want sort of that free, that like sort of walking sound, that cascading, right? And I don't want to be sort of hindered to a particular shape, you know, or anything like that. I feel that sometimes shapes and caged and, you know, it can be, even arpeggios can sometimes be a little restrictive. You just want to kind of play and dance around like a piano player every so often. There's place for that. There's room for that. You should definitely work on it with a track like this. Okay, so let's bring in the track. Let's talk about how we can make the most of this and even throw in our good old pentatonic for good measure. All right, so I got the track fired up, slowed it down a good bit. Let's walk through those lines, and let's really kind of talk about how we can just improvise not only between using the scale, but maybe some of our minor pentatonic blues ideas as well. Let's try it. The count-off's longer when it's slower. 2, ready, here's that line. Nice chord tone. Over that D minor, walk it down. Now maybe I want to play a pentatonic bluesy idea. Walk it up with a natural minor to the D minor. Natural minor. Maybe some blues. So you see how we're getting some different flavors there, and what's important, the overarching thing, is what the track sounds like. Because somebody's going to say, well, can I use a natural minor scale over a 12-bar blues? Go ahead and try it, and let me know how that works out. Because the tonality for this is really more shooting towards what you're hearing in the track, the sort of darker, moodier kind of thing. You're going to use natural minor scales over hard rock and metal and things like that. But you're also going to use it over The Thrill Is Gone would be a good spot to do it over something like that too. You can play around with it, but it's good to know because a lot of you folks, I know, are getting together with your friends and aren't just playing blues all day. You're maybe playing stuff that's like... all A natural minor, okay? There's lots to be said on this. I'm just kind of giving you a little bit of a taste. We're going to go into more of this in the future for sure, because you need to know not only your major and minor pentatonics, but your major and natural minor scales as well, because it's really how everything is laid out in a lot of your standard sort of, I'll call it pop music, but I mean music that's been sort of guitar driven over the past 50, 60 years or so. So much of it comes from this, and I just know from experience, from dissecting a lot of things and realizing that, wow, most of the time these tools will get you by, for sure. All right, so the line is transcribed, the scale is transcribed, I'll give you the track too, plus you got, 15, 20 minutes of some solid instruction here, and if you found all of that usable and helpful, please stick around for the rest of the channel. Jump through a bunch of videos. There's plenty of stuff here. And while you're at it, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the bell to know when I put out new videos, and even like the video, any of which really helps my journey here on YouTube, which you can be a part of here every week with me. All right, I enjoy hanging out and really hearing from everybody and hearing how you're enjoying the topic. So again, if you subscribe, we'll always stay in contact. All right, thanks so much. That was the A natural minor scale. So go get the stuff, start jamming, have some fun. Let me know how it works out. All right, I'm Corey. I'll see you on another video. Have fun. Take care.